Okay, this is JD Glasscock, JD Glasscock. That's Merlin, 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 Merlin. JD Glasscock Poetry Reprisal number 17. Sammy Bones. Sammy Bones was born on the night of a half moon at the door of an orphanage to a young girl with a story of needles and black and blue daddy dreams. Her life was the price to deliver her boy into the mud. Her last exhale, his name, and from her failing hands, a beat up old harmonica. Sammy Bones grew up on the corn street of a shadow's well, blowing blues to jacked up cartoons of alley cats and junkies with begging hats. He could have been a good kid in a different world with different sins, could have been a movie star on the hard-earned avenues of show-dog cars. But these fantasies didn't spell reality for his backwoods dust trails. He was Sammy Bones, the black and blue half-moon teller of tales. As his first steps, he learned how to make bets about the outcome of people's dreams looking to be jet set. They fell. They fall. Scattered along the stars of a melancholy wind while Sammy Bones smiles, flipping his finger to fate and blowing a deep dark tune on a beat-up hop to the trembling of divinity. A half moon in his eyes and a grin shooting needles to the downtrodden gatherers of hope. Sammy Bones grew up in the corn streets of Shadow's well-blown blues, jacked up cartoons of alley cats and junkies with begging hats. He could have been a good kid in a different world with different sins, could have been a movie star on the hard-earned avenues of show-dog cars, but these fantasies didn't spell reality for his backwoods dust trails. He was Sammy Bones, the black and blue half-moon teller of tales. His flesh grasped a man's limbs, rolling rackets along seedy corners, pulling green from the sky, watching limos and starlets drive by. Bones dropped from his eyes, tricking luck with grease-monkeyed lies. As his name became legend, as his name became legend on the block. They said Sammy Bones is gonna roll this town with golden tickets to wherever he is bound, but he ain't gonna live long. He ain't gonna live long. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. He took his shots with a crackerjack pistol and lifted his feet to red carpet streets, leaving a broken trail of dreams. He became a mover and a shaker, a half moon myth of bones and mist, a half moon myth of bones and mist, with brothels and smoke jazz taverns as his front stores for heroin fables, and fantasy room labels, and porn star movie makers. He became the legend the roll calls of destiny had woven for him, yet still his heart heaved melancholy dreams, and tears etched themselves in the songs he blew into the night. Sammy Bones grew up on the corn streets of a shadow's well-blown blues to jack up cartoons of alley cats and junkies with begging hats. Could have been a good kid in a different world with different sins. Could have been a movie star on the hard-earned avenues of show-dog cars. But these fantasies didn't spell reality for his backwoods dust trails. He was Sammy Bones, the black and blue half-moon teller of tales. He was Sammy Bones, the black and blue half-moon teller of tales. On a midnight stroll with the skies slitted gray and the alleys howling against the heavy falling rain, Sammy Bones was shot twice, once in the heart and once in the head by a jacked up junkie wondering what a legend had. And the world wailed against the fabric of a half moon for a black and blue daddy dream that left the world way too soon. But as Sammy walked the last golden brick road of a forever trail, he woke to the truth of his heart spelling hope in the runes of his unfinished tale. Love was the story he most hungered to feel. So much so he wished he could hit rewind and rerun the reel, to give gifts of petals to broken down junkies instead of crackerjack pistols to money-driven flunkies. For that was the dream his mama had wished for her only boy he knew, that he had instead chosen to fall, chosen to fall. His dreams echoed against the dwindling world and his bones rattled serendipity of the cascade of sand falling through open eyes. They say you can still hear Sammy Bones blowing half-moon kisses through beaten-up harps in the back alleys of dreams on quiet nights in the deep shadows of streets.